Is to see children and teenagers and sometimes adults that have problems. And one of the problems that people have is called bipolar disorder, meaning people that have mood swings, ups and downs in moods, sometimes caused by what happens, sometimes out of the blue, from outside. Inside, they may have a thought that triggers them, and then they respond as if it's happened. So, these are people who mood swing. I believe both your parents have the gene. Your mother says she certainly does. Your father doesn't agree. Your grandfather doesn't agree. Your uncle agrees. But it's a disorder that's biologic in origin. And over the 50 years that I've been studying it, one of the things I found is that in children and adults, 4 different areas are disturbed. The first one is that the person over-responds, outside or inside. For some people, they're still angry 2 hours later and everyone else is playing their card game. And they're still grinding themselves and they can't let go of feelings. Sometimes they're so happy that they work through the night and forget to sleep because they're so involved and overstimulated. So it's an over-response to the norm. As adults, the average adult sleeps about 6 hours a night that have this disorder. The rest of the world sleeps 7 to 9 hours a night. As children and teenagers, it's variable. Sometimes people oversleep, sometimes people undersleep, or sometimes people never have a problem with sleep. In childhood and teenage, that's the first thing that me as a psychiatrist would pay attention to. How well does the person sleep? If the person sleeps well, I go, oh good, not a problem. And we move on. The second one is there something else going on that could cause someone to be upset or have mood swings? A person gets dysregulated. And so the next step is to find out, is something else going on? Half the people I see have something else going on genetically, meaning inherited, either depression or ADHD or bipolar or Tourette's disorder or a seizure disorder or sickle cell anemia or diabetes, or one of a chronic disorder, either medically or presenting psychiatrically. And so the second part I would do is I treat that. But left to that, the major problem is the person mood swings, has ups and downs in moods, and at times can't control it. At times certainly can't control it. But at times of stress or times when they need to and tell themselves, stop yourself from doing that right now, the person can't do it. They say, I didn't want to do it. Then I say, well, can you do it? Of course you can do it. It's that you didn't want to do it. And the nervous system for people that are bipolar is when they want themselves in a crisis to stop, they can't. Whatever the issue is, they can't. And looking at that biologically, that my first choice to treat that is a metal called lithium. Lithium is in our batteries. Lithium we use in computers. Lithium is an element that's mined in the ground. And in addition, it was one of the first 3 elements on the earth, besides helium and oxygen. You know, we had lithium. And so it's pervasive throughout the world, and throughout, it lives in rocks. And so how it's made is, it's not made in the lab. It's not, you can't make lithium. You have to mine it. So it's refined. And so at this point, the cost is like $20 a month, cheaper than a pack of gummies, everyday vitamins or multivitamins, whatever. But it isn't sold over the counter. What I believe it does is it stabilizes the actual cells in the body. That when we think about the nervous system, is that we're billions of cells, and we're billions of network of connections that we don't know about. You know, when I had anatomy, we used to have to dissect down to, everybody looks the same once you peel the skin off. But, you know, look for this little nerve here. You know, I think that it made me aware of the millions of nerves we must have, because every cell has nerves. Every cell has a cell membrane. Every cell has microtomes or whatever to grow, to make it live. So we have billions of connections, and we don't know the connections in our mind, that we don't have a way yet to be able to understand how someone with ADHD really thinks differently than someone with depression, or who has someone with Tourette's, or someone that has end-stage leukemia, or someone that has recurrent asthma attacks. You know, we don't know, and it stirs up some of the people. I mean, some of the people handle it well. You know, I know a lot of people that have had numerous hospitalizations for asthma, and they just go when they have a problem. They don't wait until there's a later problem. Turn it off 1 second.